Students of class 11, grand welcome to all of you, as we are just meeting with each other in this COVID pandemic spread globally. Really, it is the opportunity that we are meeting through the videos. But you must know the lesson prescribed to you in the book Hornbill is such a lesson that is the portrait of a lady written by Khushwant Singh, a famous journalist, writer, born in Punjab, but really a man who achieved such valor in the field of literature, whose writings have really influenced, impressed, and inspired the young generations as well as all the readers of the time immemorial. It is one of the most legendary lessons that you will know about him. In this very video, I will tell you some of the points that are described here that you will know. These are the important points that I have discussed. Here, you will know. The thought was almost revolting. These are the important points that you must know, that you must understand. What is the meaning of the thought was almost revolting? It means that it was very disgusting to think so. An expanse of pure white serenity. It means that widespread, clear, and calm whiteness, for whom this term has been used for a grandmother. A turning point, a big change in one's life. It is the autobiographical lesson in nature about Khushwant Singh, a big change when he was taken to the town where he was admitted to a English medium school where there was only the teaching of science and literature, not scriptures. Accepted a secularism with resignation. It was something. She really submitted herself that she had to live alone. She lived with Khushwant Singh since his childhood, but now it was time that he has grown up and he had to study more, so he had to live all alone. A veritable bedlam of chirrupings. The sparrows that came, the mad noise grandmother really felt, and they made such beautiful noise, lovely noise that was liked. Frivolous rebukes, very light, not so serious scoldings that really happened. Last term, the sagging skins of dilapidated drum. When Khushwant Singh returns from England after getting education, mother was delighted. She wanted to welcome her grandson as a warrior had come back, and she was so happy that she started collecting all the women in her neighborhood. She sang songs, hymns, till late night. That was the last night when she had celebrated such grand occasion in her life. What a night it was! Wonderful night. Here you will know something all. But wait. Khuswant Singh, born Khushal Singh, 2 February 1915. He was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist, and politician. I still remember when his famous article was published in the Hindustan, Bura Manu Ya Bhala. That was famous, he used to tell us. And he lived long innings of life. Died on 20 March 2014. His experience in the 1947 partition of India inspired him to write Train to Pakistan in 1956, and film was made in 1998. It became his most well-known novel, Train to Pakistan. This was wonderful. And here I have given you some ideas. He was alma mater Government College, Lahore, BA, King's College, London, LLB. He was born in Punjab, Khuswant Singh. He was educated in Modern School, New Delhi, St. Stephen's College, and graduated from Government College, Lahore. He earned an LLB from King's College, London, and was called to the bar at the London Inner Temple after working as a lawyer in Lahore High Court for 8 years. He joined the Indian Foreign Service upon the independence of India from British Empire in 1947. He was appointed journalist in the All India Radio in 1951 and then moved to the Department of Mass Communication of UNESCO at Paris in 1956. What a grand career he had. His last 2 careers encouraged him to pursue a literary career. As a writer, he was best known for his trenchant secularism, humor, sarcasm, and an abiding love of poetry. His comparisons of social and behavioral characteristics of Westerners and Indians are laced with acid wit. Truth. He served as the editor of service literary and news magazines as well as 2 newspapers through the 1970s and 1980s. Between 1980 and 1986, he served as Member of Parliament in Rajya Sabha, the upper house of Parliament of India. The awards that were conferred to him was the Padma Bhushan in 1974 and he returned the award in 1984 in protest against Operation Blue Star, in which the Indian Army raided Amritsar. It was not good. In 2007, he was awarded the Padma Vibhushan, the second highest civilian award in India. That was the reality. There are some quotes that I would like to refer to you. For all its imperfections, life is a great gift, and I have tried to get as much out of it as I could. What a wonderful gift he has written. Once more he said, I have feasted my eyes and senses on all that is beautiful in the world. What a memorable. Khuswant Singh tells about his grandmother, who was so old since he had seen right from his beginning of life, and since he became 20-year-old man, really she was a very white, pure white. Her hair was white, she had wrinkles on her face, and she used to wear a white sari that he compares with the snow-peaked mountains of the Himalayas. She used to take him to the temple. She was very fond of him. Khuswant's father went to town, but he stayed with his grandmother. She provided him everything that she could provide him. It was one of the best moments of his life that he spent. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years, he says. And here, grandfather's portrait was also hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. What kind of dress that he wore, that it tells. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who could have a wife or children. He says, it seemed that he had lots and lots of grandchildren, and it was revolting for him. That I made you understand. She was always short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running over her face everywhere to everywhere. They were certain she had always been as they had known her. She was terribly old, and that she could not have grown older. It was revolting. She used to say that she was so pretty, she was so nice, so beautiful, but she hobbled. She just limped while walking, and he could not understand. He compares her like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Both of them were good friends. And here, I would like to thank you for listening to all the words that I have narrated to you. So I will tell you something more in the next video. Thank you, children.